Let your evinced desires be for what is good, and the people will be good. The relation between superiors and inferiors is like that between the wind and the grass. The grass must bend when the wind blows across it. In this quote from the Analects, the most well-known collection of Confucius ideas, Confucius is referring to propriety being a key element in the development of character, particularly for those in positions of power. When one attains propriety, they are able to demonstrate for others how to do the same. The character of man was often the main focus of the teachings of educator and philosopher Confucius, and remains the backbone of Confucianism today. Born in 551 BC, during a time of political unrest in China, Confucius used his role as an educator to attempt to meet his goal of righting the corruption and unethical behavior in both China's leaders and its citizens. Confucius's variation of the Golden Rule, not to do to others as you would not wish done to yourself, supports his belief that persons of authority should lead by example, with compassion and love, while practicing self-discipline in order to be effective and gain the trust and loyalty of their people. He believed the lack of ethical values in China's rulers and citizens alike is what caused the falling out of its government, and through his teachings he planned and hoped to rectify these issues. Confucius's educational philosophy is one based on moral education. Along with his essential 6 arts, which included archery, calligraphy, computation, music, chariot driving, and ritual, Confucius focused his teachings first and foremost on morality. Through his teachings, he aimed to develop gentlemen who conducted themselves with grace and integrity, were self-disciplined, and spoke properly. These desired qualities would be acquired partly through pupils mimicking the behaviors of their older, wiser, and more experienced teachers. Confucius believed that teachers were everywhere and learning could take place at any time. Even as an educator himself, he remained a student, always learning and growing into a more refined man. He once stated, "Even when walking in the company of 2 men, I am bound to find my teachers there. Their good points I would try to emulate. Their bad points I would try to correct in myself." In a related matter, Confucius believed that education must begin and end with the person who seeks to learn. In other words, in order to reach one's fullest potential and gain true wisdom, the learner must take initiative and seek out a teacher as a means to develop the sought-after skills, knowledge, and an understanding of oneself. The best students in Confucius's eyes were the ones who pursued their own education and did not shy away from persistent problem-solving as a means to arrive at an answer. Confucius's style of teaching would often be to pose a question, deliver an idea or cite a piece of literature, and simply wait for his students to come to an accurate conclusion on their own. This type of instruction would have the teachers act as a guide, moving students towards mastery of predetermined subject matter, whether it be literature, math, music, while encouraging students to persevere through the material or problem on their own. This type of instruction allows students to more naturally develop over time the skills and virtues needed to become productive citizens and leaders, as well as lifelong learners. Upon studying Confucius and reading his work, I must say I tend to agree with much of his social and educational philosophies. Similar to the issues plaguing China during Confucius's time, I believe that many issues in today's society stem from a lack of moral values. Leaders are often unable to efficiently lead because their people no longer respect or appreciate authority, and with good reason, as corruption and greed are often synonymous with power. It is a continuous cycle that can only be broken, in my opinion, with proper education. While I believe the essential core subject areas, like language arts, mathematics, history, the arts and sciences, should remain a priority in our schools, I feel that life skills and ethical values deserve a much larger emphasis than they are currently given. In order to repair a broken society, teachers should not only explicitly teach these virtues through modeling behaviors and sharing their own prior knowledge and experiences, but should allow students to naturally acquire these traits through consistent, authentic problem-solving and real-world application. The practice of student-led learning is one that I have found to be most effective in my years of teaching. Direct instruction has its place, but there is much more value in the teacher playing the role of facilitator, simply presenting a problem, idea, or question to the students, providing the necessary resources and time, and allowing them to develop their own strategies and ideas to arrive at a solution, as Confucius would have. This will create more meaning in the material for students, allow them to practice perseverance and accountable talk, and hold them more responsible for their own learning. Additionally, Confucius's social philosophy of putting the needs and desires of others before one's own struck me, especially as an educator. Confucius has been quoted as saying, "Since you yourself desire standing, then help others achieve it. Since you yourself desire success, then help others attain it." Selflessness is an admirable trait in any person, but it should almost be required of us as educators, as the needs of our students should almost always come before our own. Whether that involves us working with other teachers to collaborate, share, and gain fresh ideas, to seek out additional training to continue improving in our own professional development, or to utilize a wider variety of strategies and resources to further differentiate our classrooms, we should never stop fighting for our students' progress, no matter how challenging or inconvenient it may seem. This philosophy should also be applied as a classroom expectation for students as well. Students should not only be given opportunities to work together, but should be taught how to work well with others and to put the needs of their peers before their own, when appropriate, to aid in the success of each individual. While some of his practices may at first seem outdated because he lived so long ago, there is no doubt that Confucian theories have a place in education and society still today. Molding our youth into morally adept, self-disciplined, empathetic adults can only have a favorable effect on our educational and political systems. Not only will we be building stronger, more dedicated learners, but more effective teachers and leaders as well, creating a lasting positive impact on generations to come.